Welcome, kindergarten. Today, you are going to need a scissors, a pencil, your 2 pieces of green paper. They were 1 piece, and you cut them in half, or the 1 piece in half last week. So now you have 2, and then you need your weaving. We're going to take the pencil and the 2 pieces of paper and put them off to the side. First thing that we got to do is last week we took our glue bottles and we glued all of these ends or the tabs down. Okay. What we're going to do this week is we are going to take our scissors and we are going to cut right along the edge where that light green line is. Okay. If you have to, you could ask an adult and they could draw a line over the top, but basically all you're going to do, holding this down at the bottom here. So I gotta move my camera so you can see a little bit better. Okay. So I'm holding it, my thumb's on top. I'm holding it like this, and I'm just going to take my scissors and go right along the edge, right on that green, light green line. Okay, and we're just cutting till we get to the other side of each of those tabs. So we're going all the way to the other side. And when we're done, we have a mess of these little pieces of paper, but we have a nice smooth edge. So I'm going to turn it now, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, all of these can go into the recycling. And what we're left with now is a nice rectangular weaving. And we're going to take one of our green pieces of paper. And what I need you to do is you're going to turn it so that you have, I'm going to try to do this so that I can get everything in the camera. So we're looking at the short ends of your rectangle, and we're going to take one of the halves, and what we want to do is we want to match it up so that we have one corner on one of the edges, so we're matching up this corner and this corner, and on the other side we need to have it so that this is longer over here. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a mark on the paper where, if this corner is matched up, where that touches this paper. Okay. And you can ask an adult for some help. Then we're going to go all the way up to the top, and we're going to match this corner up again with the edge of the paper. And then we're going to come over here, and we are going to put a mark where the corner of our weaving is on this piece of paper. Okay. Now we can match these up and just draw a line from one to the other, or we can grab a ruler, okay, and make that line. What we're going to do is we're making the head of our alligator, okay? And we need all of our scraps. These are really important to keep. So I'm going to cut it off so that we just see the paper that we're going to use for our head. So I'm cutting right on that line that we just made. Okay. And we need to keep this because this is going to become our legs. And now I have this kind of square-like shape. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that if this was attached to our weaving, that our alligator head is almost like a big upside down U or a hill. Okay, so I'm going to put it here on the other side, and I'm going to draw that U shape. Okay, so I'm starting on the side. I'm going to come down a little bit, and starting from the side of my paper, I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom here, and then I'm going to put a mark over here, and that's even with this line. And this is just going to help me make that U shape. Okay. Another trick that you could do is you could take, okay, if it was matched up here, you could take these two corners, bring them together like this, and put a little pinch there. Okay, and this would tell you the middle, where that little fold was. And then you can draw down to the fold, and then back up again. Okay, but either way, this is the side that I did it first, and you're only going to do one side. And all I'm going to do now is just cut the head out. Okay, I do want you to keep these scraps just in case. So now we have the head of our alligator or crocodile. And now we all know that they have really long tails. So now what we have to do is take that other piece of paper and do the same thing that we did at the start. So I'm going to match this corner up here, and I'm going to make a line over here. Then I'm going to take my weaving to the other side, match up the corner here, and put a line here. You can either draw a line like that, okay, or I could use a ruler. Then just like you did before, you're going to cut, save this. And now we are going to imagine, okay, so you'll notice that I have it kind of matched up. We're going to imagine a tail coming off of this, okay? So we want to start in one of these corners, and we could either just kind of make it a pointy tail that comes up to here, or we can have it kind of curled over like a big hill and then bring it back down to here. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to have it come down, and then I'm going to go back up this way, and then I got to come all the way back to this corner. Okay, so goes up like a big hill, and then almost as if it's a wave, and the waves are about ready to kind of curve back and crash down on the rest of the water. But coming up, coming back, and then both lines need to go back to the corners. Okay. So now what you're going to do is take this and cut this out. Right. These scraps we can recycle. So right now, I have my weaving, I have my tail, I have my head, and then I might have some other scraps, but I should have two long rectangles like this. What I want to do is I want to put them together. Okay. We call stacking. So one's on top of the other. And then I want you to take it and I want you to fold it up so that you fold it in half. Okay, so I have two pieces of paper. Okay, fold it in half. And when I open it back up, okay, I have now two long rectangles with a fold line in the middle. I'm going to cut on the fold. Now I have a pile of three of them. Okay, I'm going to move this stuff off to the side. So I have a pile of three, and then I have one. And what we're going to do is we're going to make little feet or claws, I guess. Okay? And to do that, we're going to make the letter M. Okay, so we're going to put a line down in the middle of this one, and I'll do it with a pen so that you can see it better. Okay, so I put a line in the middle. Then I'm going to come up a little bit, and I'm going to imagine that this is a section and this is a section. So I'm going to imagine that I just made two different areas. And I'm going to go to the middle. So from here to here, I'm going to go to the middle again. We've done this before. Okay. And if this is the middle, now I'm going to go up a little ways and I'm going to put a little dot. Then I'm going to do the same thing over to this side. So I'm going to go from that middle line to this corner. I'm going to go to what I think is the middle of that space. And then I'm going to go up to the same height as this one here and put a dot. And the reason that I did that is that now I'm going to make that M shape. Okay. And so I'm going to go from this corner. I'm going to go up to a dot. Then I'm going to go down to that middle line. I'm going to go up to the dot. And then I'm going to go down to that corner. And so I've made an M shape, or if I flip it around, it is a W shape. Now, if I can, I'm going to take it and put it on top of my others. Now, this might be too hard to cut, so I'm going to start out with just two pieces of paper. So I'm going to put this on top, match it up. Okay, I'm going to hold it up here, and then I'm going to make one cut there, turn my paper, make a cut so that I touch that. And you'll notice I'm matching the tip of my scissors up with that dot so that all I have to do is close my scissors, and then I turn it and match it up with the dot. If I do this, I'm going to cut all the way up to my thumb. But if I do this, now when I close my scissors, I'm going to be right on that dot. And that piece falls. Okay. So now I just cut out 2 feet or 2 legs. And what I can do now is I can grab one of these pieces, match them up, and then I can just trace. And I would do it with pencil. Right, so I just traced. And now I do the same thing. doesn't fall out, then you just got to cut it a little bit more. So these little triangles can go in the recycling. Now I have 4 legs. I have a head, I have a tail, and I have a weaving. Next week, we're going to put all these pieces back together. So make sure that you pile them up. If an adult at home has a paper clip or something to keep them all together, that would be even better. But make sure you keep this safe until next week, and we'll learn how we're putting it all together. Bye, everyone.